Hey everyone, it's Bradley Bush with another algebra video for you. Today we're talking about rational expressions. What are rational expressions? How do you recognize them? What's their domain? That's really what we're talking about today. Thanks for visiting my channel. I'm thrilled you're here. If you're coming back, thanks for coming back. I really appreciate it. Let's get started. What is a rational expression? Well, let's define it, and then we can talk about just the simple version. So if we let P and Q be polynomials, and X is the variable, then P over Q is a rational expression, and Q can't be equal to 0. So really what this means is that a rational expression is a fraction. And in the top, you've got a polynomial, and in the bottom, you've got a polynomial. So there's some examples down here. For example, 10 over x minus 2. Two polynomials. Simple polynomials, but it's okay. All we need is two polynomials, one at the top, one at the bottom, and we have a rational expression. Is not a rational equation or function because we don't have an equal sign. But another example would be 3x over x squared minus 2. Or another example would be 4x squared minus 3x plus 1 in the top, and in the bottom, x cubed plus 2x squared minus 10x minus 3. Those are all examples of rational expressions. So how do you find the domain of a rational expression? Well, the domain is everything, the domain of a rational expression is everything except for those things that make the denominator equal to 0. So you can start with all real numbers, and then you just kick out any x value that makes the denominator 0. Let's find the domain for a couple rational expressions. Here's an example, 3 over x minus 2. And if we're supposed to find the domain of this rational function, first we need to do is set the denominator equal to 0 and solve. So what do we get when we say x minus 2 equals 0? If we add 2 to both sides, because we're solving for x here, we get x equals 2, which tells us if we plug 2 in the denominator, we'd get 0. So our domain will then be all real numbers. This script R means all real numbers, except x cannot equal, there's an equal sign with a slash through it. That means not equal. X cannot equal 2. And there's our domain. Not too bad, huh? Let's do it again. So find the domain of this rational expression, and the rational expression is 5 over x squared minus 49. So again, we are looking at where the denominator equals 0. So we'll take it and set it equal to 0. We have x squared minus 49 equal to 0. If we factor that, we can see that that factors into, it's the difference of squares. It factors into x minus 7 and x plus 7. If we set both of those equal to 0 and solve, we get x minus 7 equals 0. And if we add 7 to both sides, we get x equals 7. So if we put 7 in the bottom here of our rational expression, we get 0. Because 7 squared minus 49 is 0, because 49 minus 49 is 0. Let's try the other one. So x plus 7 equals 0. We subtract 7 from both sides. That gives us x equals negative 7. And there's our second value that will give us 7, or give us 0 on the bottom, because negative 7 quantity squared is 49, and 49 minus 49 is 0. So our domain then, we can write as everything, right? All real numbers, except x cannot equal 7 or negative 7. If you guys have questions, please leave them in the comments. I'd love to hear what you think. All right, here's our last example. Find the domain of a rational expression. And this time, our denominator is a little bit bigger. So our numerator is negative 2x. Our denominator is x squared minus 5x minus 14. If we set the denominator equal to 0, guess I should start with the first term, right? X squared minus 5x minus 14 equals 0. And we need to factor this. So we're looking for factors of negative 14 that sum to negative 5. We have x, and this equals 0. So 7 and 2 probably would give us negative 5. And if we have positive 2, that will work. So we've factored it, and now we can set both of these equal to 0 and solve. So x minus 7 equals 0. If we add 7 to both sides, that gives us x equals 7. And the x plus 2 equals 0. If we subtract 2 from both sides to solve for x, we get x equals negative 2. So our answer then, the domain would be all real numbers, that's that script R, except x cannot equal 7 or negative 2. And that's it. Thanks so much for watching. If this was helpful, I'd love your support. You can subscribe to the channel, leave a comment, give me a thumbs up. Have a good day.